G'day guys, welcome to game 3 of Starcraft School episode 2 featuring Calvus and Hobocrunch. We do have Hobocrunch down here in the bottom left of Zelnaga Caverns, and he is going to be against, as we said, Calvus, the red Terran up here. We're currently sitting at 2-0 in Calvus's favour. Some great play at the start in game 1, some nice little nice push there from Calvus, securing the victory. And then in game 2, a fantastic macro game with a lot of great battles and some huge economy incomes there from both of the players, which was great to see. So both of the players have done quite a few things which they have sort of worked on in both the games there. So just a few little issues, that sort of thing, and we will be looking at just a few more things in this game. And hopefully some of you who have watched this whole series have actually just had a look and sort of thought about a few things. If you know, some tips that I've mentioned haven't actually helped you, then perhaps some thoughts may have popped up and you will have something to think about when you're playing. But Hobocrunch, of course, has not actually built a pylon in his base. He's actually got a pylon up here. He's going to be doing a proxy. We are in game 3, of course. If he doesn't actually win this one, he's going to be knocked out there. There's no actual tournament or anything, but he's going to be gone. But he's going to lose the series. But we do see the SCV come down here from Calvus. We'll see him just scout around. He'll obviously see that there's no pylon or gateway in here. The two gateways are going to be done shortly here from Hobocrunch. One is just about popped, the other is halfway done. And we will see a Chrono Zealot coming out from Hobo there. Calvus's reaction, as you can see here from the Calvus cam, he's spotted that there's no pylons there. He's going to get that wall finished there. As we can see, he's still just checking to try and see if there's something wrong with his vision or anything like that. But of course, as we know here, there is no gateway down there. And what he's done here, this little bit here, which I really loved him to see him do, was just check his base. A lot of players actually, as we were saying in game 1, when we were looking at how players react, they don't actually sometimes just sort of think about how they're going to react to a particular circumstance. So Calvus saw that there was no pylon or gateway inside Hobo's base, and as a reaction, he checked down here just inside this main, which is a common spot for proxies on this map. But it was just great to see that. So make sure if you are sort of worried about what your opponent's doing, have a little look around and see what's happening. As we can see here, these zealots are whacking away at this wall. There is only one SCV on here, and that is not going to stop these zealots. They are going to get through there eventually. A couple of SCVs come across there. We do see that the wall is just about dead. Gets down to 15 health, and he's actually going to pull out those. It's kind of a bit of a tactical sort of error there. Of course, it was a very high pressure situation. As we can see, these guys are going quite hard on the APM. Both of them sort of just really worried about what was happening there at the wall. And of course, Hobo is still pumping out a lot of zealots. So the initial push has now failed. So the zealot rush there just got knocked back by the fact that Calvus spotted, reacted, and then has now deflected this rush, which is a great little tactic there from Calvus. He's pulled it off quite nicely. Hobocrunch is going to try and run in here again and try and take on this wall. Not really sure if this is the greatest idea. There are still these two SCVs repairing one of the supply depots. Another one is coming down to help out repair this secondary supply depot as well, and I think there's another SCV as well, and that should be enough to help hold the wall. The 3 Marines getting some kills there. We do have 2 of the Marines with 2 kills, so we did lose 2 Zealots there. And obviously now Hobo is in a very bad position from an economical scale. He's still got to get out a couple more Zealots here, and probably not the greatest decision. What you want to do is get this economy back up and running. He's currently sitting here on 10 probes against the 16 SCVs, plus a mule, of course, which is like worth 2 or 3 SCVs, I'm not sure. And I think, as we can see here, Hobo is still going to get out a few more zealots to try and maintain his... in a way, he does have map control at the moment. Of course, the Marines can actually pick off zealots, but his reaction, though, this is probably he's probably had enough and he's thrown it to the wall, and his reaction now is going to be to grab this expansion here, which is going to be interesting to see if he can hold it up. And if he does, he could slowly claw his way back in. But as we said, it is a very, very bad position for Hobocrunch here, now that the initial push has failed and the secondary push has also failed. So We'll have to see what happens. We want to see Hobo spending a little bit more on his economy there. He needs to get some more probes out, which he's just about to do because he was slightly pylon blocked there, and he's going to chrono out a lot of probes, which is good to see. We want to see a good reaction here as well. If your proxy has failed, is to make sure you get a wall up, and to get at least one zealot back here to protect your main, because if you don't, you can get run by any sort of units. Of course, if you do it against the Zerg, the Zerglings can come across. If you do it against another Protoss, you can of course have zealots running around, and they may get into your base and absolutely hack all of your stuff up. Hobo's decided to take on these rocks. I'm not really sure what this guy's doing. He's sort of just standing there. He's doing a freeze frame. He's taking on these rocks. I'm really not sure what the point of the rocks going down there is for. We'll have to see if that actually makes any difference later on in the game. I would assume not, though. Perhaps he's just a little bit bored and wanting the zealots to whack away at something. But as I said, the economy is slowly creeping back up here, of course, because he does have this secondary nexus. He's getting his probes back up together. The cyber core is now all done. We want to see some stalkers pop out as soon as possible, but none are on the way just yet because he's only just sort of getting his gas going as well. Perhaps chucking down the second gas would be a great move there from Hobo, and we'll see what happens. Another thing I really want to see here is Hobo actually maintaining his sort of vigil at the wall here. You don't want to just sort of sit back and let any sort of Terran units get out unmolested, because if they do, as we said before, they can get up here and just get inside. There is nothing to defend this main just at the moment. So as we said, Hobo's sort of thrown it all to the wall, and he's going to see what sticks. And for the moment, just getting out a lot of zealots, I don't think that's going to stick at all. But we'll see what happens. Warp Gate tech is on the way. Of course, it is a very, very slow Warp Gate tech because he's sacrificed a lot of economy and tech path on this huge amount of zealots that he's created, and of course this Nexus as well. So we'll see what is happening here. Calvus is now expanding because, of course, he is quite safe, given that he does have the ranged units, which can be utilized to defend this main. The natural. So he knows that if he has some ranged units, he'll be able to keep control of the natural. And we've got Hellions here. The Hellions are on the way down. There is a march of the Hellions, and in fact, Blue Flame is just about done. This is going to be an absolute nightmare down here at Calvus's main, at Hobo's main, running in with the Blue Flames. Beautiful timing here on the Blue Flame Hellions as well. We've got 6 just rolling in now. Probes are going to run around, and they're going to line up, and in fact, I think this is a really bad position here. We see a split, actually. That was a really nice split there by Hobo. Unfortunately, because they're all still in a line, probes are getting massacred everywhere here. We've got Hellions here with multiple kills. Hobo is now attempting to counter by bringing his zealots down. Of course, the zealots, wow, they actually did net some of these Hellions, and they actually killed some of them. But the Hellions are still going to roast away these probes, and I think that is pretty much the... if the game wasn't done before, it definitely is now, because we have now got Hobo sent back to the Stone Age with his economy. He's now back to 17 harvesters, and I think that is pretty much it. So we will see a couple of gates go down. He's trying to use up what he can of his minerals to try and actually get some more units out, because if those Hellions come back, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And Calvus, meanwhile, I know we haven't really looked too much at Calvus, but he's done a great job of mobilizing his forces and just getting out a lot of useful units as well, and not overcommitting to moving out to attack Hobo's base at all. So these Hellions still floating around the map. I think they're going to be on their way. Yes, they are indeed on their way up to this expansion. It is going to get spotted here. There we go. It does get spotted, and these Hellions are moving in here. They're going to clean up the rest of these probes, and I think that will be just about it. The probes are attempting to stop this attack by attacking the Hellions, but that is obviously not going to be enough. Hobo does not know, by the way, that this natural is actually up, but even if he did, Planetary Fortress is not going to get stopped by these meager units that are left over from his initial build. But Warp Gates are going up again. As I said, this is a very tough spot for Hobo. If he were to win this, it would be an absolute miracle. The rocks here, of course, provide... I don't even think if Calvus knew those rocks were ready, but or were dead, sorry. But either way, the rock destruction there has left a wide open path for these Hellions. They're going to run in. Hellions are about to shoot down all of these probes here. We got some back and forth from these probes. They're trying to run around to reduce the damage, but that is... I think that is it, guys, because that was it. All of the probes are just absolutely dead there from Hobo. He's lost all of these ones here at the main, at the expansion. He's still got a few at the main, but he's in a very bad spot. So now that this natural is up and running for Calvus, he's going to obviously be in a huge position there. There we go. We're gonna. This is too much trouble. GG, man. Great play from both of these guys there. Just a little bit of tactical errors there from Hobo in terms of he missed that supply depot. He actually was in such a great position to actually bust in there and win the game, but he didn't capitalize on that, although, as I said, it was a very high-pressure situation, so that is quite understandable. And then this decision to continue with the Zealots, once again, was quite questionable from my point of view, especially if you're not going to use them to contain your opponent. The Nexus I did love, given that I'm a bit more of a macro fan, but it just doesn't actually pull that one off. So great play there. Calvus wins 3-0, but it was by no means an absolute pushover for Calvus there. We saw some great play from both of these guys in games, game 1 and 2, especially with upgrades. That's one thing I can say for both of these guys. They've been fantastic in keeping on top of their upgrades. So hopefully you guys have, perhaps there's been some, as I said, some thoughts, perhaps some ideas, some things that you can use in your own games. And if you would like to participate and have sort of a little analysis done on some of your replays, and we can see if we can help out, please let me know. Send it through to duckfellwall@gmail.com, and we'll have a go and see what we can come up with. But thanks very much for watching, guys. Leave some comments. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you. Cheers.